Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. I got an order to do this axolotl and this nine-tailed fox in night lights. The axolotl needs to be orange and green, and the fox needs to be black and red. I got my lights. Now I know that black's going to be very difficult for this light to shine through, so I'm going to make the black very, very light. I'm not going to make it very dark at all because I want the tips painted red. I just think it's prettier. My axolotl. I know it's already got orange on it because I've tried this once and I made it too dark, so I'm making it again. But you can tell. I ripped my mold when I was trying to demold it, so I had to fix it. Now, how sturdy this is going to be when I go to demold, I don't know, but it ripped all the way down through here. So let me show you what I used to fix it, because I know you're going to ask. Clear adhesive sealant. This is a silicone sealant, and it just dries up as silicone. It's a clear silicone. Got it off of Amazon. I'll link this for you guys. But when you rip a mold, you can put a little layer of that on. You can see the white because I tried a different sealant first. Didn't work. So then I just used this, and it's silicone. So it fixed my mold. I'll link that for you guys. All right, I am going to put you in a time lapse when I paint these up because I'm going to paint the gills orange, the feet orange, and orange down the back. And I'm going to paint the tips red. And then we'll come back. I'll have some resin mixed up and we will pour this. I'm using I've got it opened upside down, Baltic Day Chrome Powder, the 30 colors. I have orange and I have bloody red. And that's the colors I'm using. So I'll see you guys back in just a moment. Alright guys, so I got it painted up. I've got 10 ounces of resin mixed up. I have not put in the debubbler yet because I'm going to measure out 100 gram for him. He takes 4.5 ounces, but I don't want to fill him completely up because I got to put the nightlight in there, and then I'm probably going to do him a yellow belly. So 100 ounces will not fill him completely up, and hopefully will allow me to put in the nightlight without spilling resin everywhere. So let's get up to 100. There we go. Now, I know he uses about 5.5 ounces, so I still got quite a bit left. I'm going to take out 45 gram because I don't want to make it all black. If I need it, I can add it. But if I mix it all up, then I've got too much. And this way we can make an extra in some other color. Okay, there we go. And if I need it, I'll just dump it in there. If not, we're good. Now, I want these very transparent. So these are resin or epoxy pigments. And it's not an alcohol ink. It's just a liquid pigment. And like I said, I need this to be very translucent. That's why I chose these. Because they are 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put 4 drops of this in there. They're very translucent, these pigments are. You probably can't get them anymore because I ordered these probably when I first started doing resin about 6 or 7 years ago. But if I can find them, I will link them. And you can see how light that is. I just need it to be light enough that okay, this will be 8. Light enough that my light will shine through. I don't want it dark to where you can't see it. That was my problem when I made them the other day. I mixed in chrome powder and I put just a little tiny bit and you couldn't see through it. Okay, I'm going to do 4 more. This will be 12 drops. But this is a pigment, so it's not going to fade away like an alcohol ink would. If you're wondering why I'm not using alcohol ink. Alcohol ink does fade over time, but these pigments shouldn't because it's not an alcohol-based dye. Okay, I think that is good. Now I am putting crushed crystal, just a little tiny bit, in these because where they are translucent, I do want them to be pretty. And I think the crushed crystal really does that. Okay, just a little tiny bit. That's probably too much. Didn't realize I had that much. It will be okay. Okay, that way it'll really sparkle when it lights up. Alright, I'm going to put this in the debubbler after I get this mixed up. Then I have black. Same company. I am mixing these, shaking them. I'm sure pigment settles at the bottom of this stuff. Alright. Now I'm going to go slow on this. I don't know how heavy this is going to be. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do the same thing. 4. But when you want a light color, this is the way to go, is with these little dyes. Oh yeah, that's hardly done anything. I think this color will, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's try 12. I need it to be black, but I also need it to be transparent where the light's going to shine through. Okay, I think I can do a little more because it's going to be a little thinner, so it's going to be a little less color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go with 6. So it'll be a total of 18 drops. Okay, I think I can do 2 more and make it an even 20, and we'll be okay. 1, 2, 3. Well, you got an extra. You got 3. Now, where's my crushed crystal in front of my nose? Just get a little of that and put in there. Where it's so transparent, I like the crushed crystal, especially in these night lights. Okay. I think that will be good. I'll have his black with the shimmer, and then the light will shine through. Alright guys, I'm going to put these all in the debubbler, and I'll be back in just a moment and we'll pour. Alright guys, just got my resin out of the debubbler. Now I was thinking, I'm going to be putting this light in there, so he's not going to take all of the resin that I have mixed up. So I'm probably going to have quite a bit extra. Now I like to just kind of let that resin slowly pour down in to these little gills first, because of it can get bubbles. And I've painted down in there, so I don't want to go probing around. I'm just hoping I can slowly get it to fill up and we can get them to come out perfect. Would be awesome. I do see a bubble down in that big one though. Shoot, I just grabbed the wrong end of that stick. Come on up, bubbles. Do you see them down in the gill? Where's my dotting tool? There it is. Okay. I think I got that one. Alright, I wonder about the other side. Yeah, bubbles down there too. Like I said, I don't want to touch the sides just because there's color in there. If I can coax them to come up. Okay, let's fill up some more and then we'll work a little more. I think I need a little more resin in there. I want to fill all the gills up all the way to the top so I can make sure I have no bubbles. Okay. Now, let's squeeze. I hate to squeeze because I got my color and I don't want my color to come off. But I don't want those bubbles floating down in there either. Okay. I think I've got it. There's still some bubbles. But I'm hoping that they will kind of come out on their own. They're not down in there. It's the good thing. There's a bubble. I can bring them out where I can spray them or spritz them with a little bit of heat. There we go. Now, this is the tricky part. Tricky part's always putting that light in there. Oh, I dread it. I love making these, but I hate putting that light in there. Alright, I'm just going to, a little bit of heat. And like I said, I mean, you've seen my finger there. This doesn't get really hot enough to mess with my mold, which is awesome. Alright, we got his tail filled. So that is good. Now, I'm going to move this one over here because we got to put our light in. Now, the good thing is these lights fit really well down in there. And these little sides help to kind of hold it. But they do like to turn. So, to prevent them from turning, I do usually set that on there. And I get me a color of some sort and try to prop this on there without it turning over on me to hold it down. That way it doesn't come up. And if that will stay, then I can take the rest of this resin and pour down in here. And we only did 100 gram because we're going to fill him up and I'm going to make him have an orange belly. And I'm probably going to make his belly solid. Mixing chrome powder to match his feet. Okay. There we go. Now, clean this stick off. See it turning over on me before I hit it. We've got to prop that back. So move my stick back over. The good thing about these sticks is they're so long that they kind of balance on the the mold. It's just finding the balance with the bottle that I'm sticking on it. Okay. Takes time. I've tried taping. I've tried everything. This is the easiest way I can find to get that to stay. I think I need to move it back a little bit more. I think I've moved forward. It's very difficult. All right, let's get the fox poured, and then I'll take care of him. All right, we have our black. Now, I can't let it turn over. That's probably why I should have done one at a time. This really isn't heavy enough to hold it down in there completely, I don't think. Okay, I'm going to scoot that back. It keeps scooting to the front. See, you think you have it, and then it just resets. All right. Poor fox. Now, I know in this bale, it's really bad to get a bubble. So that's going to be the issue once I put this light in here, is making sure I don't have a bubble in that bale around his neck. I'm just slowly pouring to let it fill up his tips of his tail. Okay, here's the bale. Okay, now let me work on the bale before I put my light in there. As you can see, the bale is nothing but one big bubble. And he's still got a little bubble in there. I see it. See if we can pluck it away. There we go. Now, we got it out. I've never put a light in this one. I'm hoping we'll have to stretch it out so much to get that down in there that it would hold, but it's not going to. And I've got to get that straight. So we are going to try tape and hope and pray that I can get this to turn out. And I've already went over the front. The front's got down in there too far. So he's trying to go to the back. I don't need it to go to the back. Otherwise he's not going to sit right. I need it to stay right like that. And I don't think it will. I'm thinking other ways to fix this. Yeah, it's going over the front. It's going to seal in the battery. Okay, let's take this out. And we're going to take out a little bit of this resin. If I could just get a little down in there, to hold it in place, maybe. Maybe should have tried to glue it. Oh, I hate touching resin. Okay, let me get all this off. Okay. Now, see, he just wants to go sideways. I need him to stay like that. I wonder if I could stick something in the front to make it stay. See, he just keeps turning and going down in there. You know what? I'm going to let it stick out a little bit. Let that resin cure up with some. Not completely, but a little bit. And then I'm going to press him down in there and see if I can get that to work. So we're going to let that sit there for about 2 hours. This is the hay clear resin, so you know it takes forever to start to cure. And then I'm going to work on his light later. I'll do that off camera, guys, because it's going to be quite a bit for me to work on that. All right, I painted my little mold up again. I'm going to try him again. Don't know if I can get it to work out. Really think this needs a thin resin. Here's a bubble. And put a little more down in there. This will be the last time I try this with this mold, because I hate split molds. I hate molds that are stiff and you can't get the bowls out and they don't turn out. This should have been made with a more flexible silicone, in my opinion. Here's another bubble. It's a lot of flexible silicones that could have worked for this. Now he's got a little hand and it goes up. So I don't know if I can pluck the bubble out of there. I'm probably going to take all my paint off. That's going to expose my veil. I'll have issues with bubble down in the veil. We may not be able to use that kind of light for him. And you know what? This one done. I put all that down in there to try to get in that hand. And it done went below. I wonder if I can push down. The little hand is right there. I've got rid of some of my color. Alright, guys. That's all I'm going to work with this thing. So if there's still bubbles down in there, there's just going to have to be bubbles. Because I don't see any coming out. I've tried everything I can. Alright. And I tried my best not to get that thing covered over. And you see what I did? I put a drip on it. There we go. Now this handmade mold, I do not leave it sitting on my silicone. And I still got resin left. Because I've got to figure out what to do with him. I've got to let that cure up and then try to Try to push him down in there. I could just get him to turn and stay that way instead of the whole front wants to go in. I mean, that's crazy. I'll work on him in a little bit. Like I said, once he starts curing up some. All right, let's figure out what we're going to do with the rest of this resin. I do want my little turtle. Where's my little turtle? I love that little thing that I just had him. There he is, right in front of my nose. All right. We got some glitter in this. Let's do a little black one. This little turtle is so cute. I like when you can see through the turtle on this one because he's so shimmery. Alright, now he's also handmade mold. He's from Into Resin. If you guys buy Into Resin molds, I do have a 20% off discount code and a link in the description. Alright. We'll let these cure up some, guys. We'll come back and see if I can try to fix that sucker. I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, guys, so these have cured up enough that I can pour the next layer in. And I figured out how to fix my fox. I just hope this stays. So I set the bottle of pigment to hold it down. But what I did is I had this silicone from where I made a mold before. And this is why you always keep your silicone. You can always use it for filling in molds, but I put it in here. I've got to break it loose. This is the hard part. I'm hoping to get it out of there without dislodging my light. But I put it right down in there to make room to hold my light in place. And it worked. It worked great if I can just get it out. Like I said, it's just breaking it loose from the resin down in there. And I know I'm going to pull the fox away from the mold, which I'm okay with, because I'm still just doing the same color, and it should be okay. Oh, great. I've got to figure out how to get that out. Alright, guys, I'm going to work on this, and I'll be right back. Alright, guys, I got it out. It actually wasn't that bad. There is some resin that had went over it, and it was just plucking it out of where the resin had went in. So, hopefully, I haven't messed this up. I hope. I'm just going to try to put that mold back where it's sticky around that resin in there. Alright. Got that out. If that was a more movable silicone, I wouldn't have that issue. But that was a cheap silicone that I got, a silicone putty. Hate it. Alright, I am going to measure out about 40 grams for him, because I don't think he'll take more than that. I'm going to mix our colors, and then I'm going to put it in the debubbler, and then we will come back and pour. And I mixed up 95 grams. You know what? I really feel like he's going to need more. So I might do 50 for him and 35 for the axolotl. Okay. 50 for him, $1.45 for axolotl. And if we need to mix it more, we can. Alright. The axolotl, like I said, I'm making him a solid base, so I am putting the orange chrome in the bottom. Find me a spoon here. I don't need a lot, just a little bit. That's all I need in there. And let me mix this up. These chrome powders, sometimes they mix up. Some of them mix up very well. The Let's Resin brand mixes up very well. This Baltic Day seems to stay a little clumpy. And they're not cheap. So you have to dig out the clumps and kind of squish them up to get them to dissolve. Oh, that's what I do anyways. Because you'll still see a few clumps of it floating around. It's hard to get them all. And I'll just squish it up against the cup to try to break it loose. And then it just still ends up with some smaller ones floating away. Okay, I think we'll be able to see through this. Alright, there's that. Now our black. One. Let's just do two. Because I'm not sure I can match the same color. Okay, that's not bad at all. Alright, let's add another. That's why I like these. They're so light. But they don't make them anymore. I don't know if there's other brands that will do the same thing. Still very light. And I do have to put my sparkle in. Okay, so here's another one for 4. Still think I need one more drop. This is why I wish that I could have done it all at the same time. Because you're probably going to see some color discoloration between the two. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. Now, get our sparkle. Then we'll throw this in the debubbler. Just a little tiny bit's all I need. And this is just the Crushed Crystal by Unicorn Art. Alright guys, I'm going to put these in the debubbler. Get this one out. And I'll be right back. Alright guys, put these in the debubbler for 5 minutes. And got almost all the bubbles out. I still see a couple around the edges of this, which I do want to pop just in case. So, let's see if we have enough to pour up the rest of this little axolotl. I think we will be. He's not going to take much. Just because he was already so full. Go up his arm. Let's go up his other little arm. I just went over, so I'll have some cleanup. I just want to bubble him up. It does level itself out, which is good. And you can see through the orange. It didn't really come out very dark, did it? Okay. I think yeah, we used maybe an ounce. But he is bubbled up. He's good to go. Let me check a foot over here. I can't tell. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to bump the camera. I can't tell if I got some overage there. Yeah. I'll have to clean his feet up. I do got a little overage here. I'm just going to try to get some of that off before it overflows on me. It's probably better to use the stick. You know what? I think he just needs propped up. There we go. These molds are so weird. He was a little crooked. Okay, I think we're good. He's still a little deep. Okay, I think he'll be okay right there. Now, hopefully we have enough black to fill in this box. And I've got to remember, I've got to get it under his little bell and make sure there's no bubble in that bell. I hope these colors match somewhat. Pop that bubble out of there. Fill him up some more. And this will go around the back and fill the back up. And there's still a little bubble. I think I got it. Alright, let's finish filling this up. Hopefully I've mixed up enough. I do got to watch and make sure I don't overflow him anywhere, especially around that light. Okay. I think I could prop the front of it up a little bit. I think he needs a stick. There we go. Is that enough? Or do I need to prop him up a little bit more? I think he's good there. Fingers crossed he turns out okay. So I got a little bit of that left too. And I got a few little bubbles. So hopefully they'll pop on their own. If not, I'll pluck them out of there. Alright guys, let's go ahead and demold our turtle. I set him on a heat mat earlier, so he's a little harder than what the resin itself is. Isn't that pretty? I love these little turtles. Alright guys, I'll see you back when it's time to demold. I'll see you then. Alright guys, these have cured up, so let's take them out and see how they are. Let's do the fox first. This is the one I had to do colored twice, so I'm not sure how he's going to look. I'm hoping it blended. Yeah, I don't think you can really tell. So far anyways. Okay. Oh yeah, you can see some of the green silicone in him. The light shines through. I need to paint him up, trim his bottom. Now, let's see how well this holds up. Usually I do the tail first, but I'm going to try to do the head first. Trying to get that out of that corner and off those gills is a little difficult. And I don't have fingernails to really get down in there. I did get my new mold for this in yesterday. So if I need to remake him, I've got another mold now. There we go. Come on, gills, be intact. Trying to get that. There we go. Okay, I do got to fix the tip tops of those. The others look okay. All right. The tail. Yeah, it ripped again. So at least it held it up to make him. We'll have to get this off and trim that up, sand it down. All right. There he is. Where is my craft knife? I have a bunch of them. See if I can get that off. Get off what I can that way anyways. And let's just trim him up. Just want all those sharp edges off, because you don't want anybody getting cut on this stuff. And believe me, there are some sharp edges. See, I gotta trim his foot. That kind of just fell off on its own, didn't it? That foot's kind of smooth. That one's smooth. I do need to trim up around here. Oops. Cut his leg. There we go. There's a little bit of a sharp edge there. It's not really sharp through there. It's a little overflow. Get that off. That leg's good. Now this one's that one's sharp. It's easier to go this way, I think. See if we can get this corner. Okay. His feet are smooth. It's just around the leg. Okay. Now between his toes, that should just pop right out. So it's very thin. So it's just going to scrape out. Okay, and then it looks like we've got some up here. Okay. All right. Still a little bit of that I want to kind of get off. I'll shine that up with some turtle wax. Okay. Now the fox. Bottoms are always, it seems, a little sharp. So we definitely got to go around the bottom. It's a little overage there. I shouldn't be sticking my thumb up there. Okay. All right. Now that is smooth. Okay. Got my black pen here. I don't know the brand of these. I've had them forever. I got them off of Amazon, but they don't make them anymore. I want to put a little black dot there in his mouth. He didn't have eyes, does he? I was going to do him some orange eyes, but he doesn't have any. This is for a boy. He probably didn't want to. Well, it doesn't have a mouth either. I do got to do the bell. Now, I'm going to do some orange eyes on this fella. Usually I would fast forward through this, but I thought you guys might want to see the cleanup and how I paint it up. Now I got a little orange on there, so I get me a little swab. Spritz just a little alcohol and I squeeze it out. And then you can just get that paint right off. There we go. This one's for a boy also. shoot. That is what having a trimmer does. Oh, it's so awesome that you can clean these pieces up. Okay. Try this again. Alright. Now those little nose areas. And I got to clean that one up. There we go. Now let's fix it. Oops. Okay. He is painted. Now let's see here. Let's do his bale red. And I'll show you guys what I use to seal these. They make different things, but I just get mine at the local Walmart. And we didn't have any bubbles. So that is awesome. No bubbles to fix. Okay. There's the bale. I like this copper pen. Bronze, copper, whatever you want to call it. These don't tell you the names of them. This is an oil-based marker, acrylic pen. I find that they stick better to molds when you're painting them up before you pour your resin. And like I said, these are the best ones I've ever found, but they don't make them anymore. And I don't know the name of them to look elsewhere. We have almost got him painted. All right. I did find a bubble. Let's see. Need some gloves here. There's one under his head. So I'm going to take just a little bit of UV resin, drop down in there. I need a toothpick. Sorry guys about reaching over in front of you. I just need to fill this whole bubble up. And it's going to be easier to use a toothpick to spread it around. And I done put the lid back on it. Alright. That looks pretty even down in there. You can't hardly tell where it's at. Pop a little bubble. Just bringing it to the edges. And then take our light. Yeah, there's a bubble in there. You know what? Where's my little lighter? It does so much better for this. I just don't want to burn the piece. Alright. Now we're just going to cure this up. I'll show you guys what I spray them down to seal them with. And then I will show you guys with the light off and them lit up. And then that will be it. Alright. I'll put this under, yeah, he's hard. I'll put it under the bigger light for like 2 minutes just to make sure it's completely sealed. Alrighty. I've got such a mess. Let's turn the light out. Okay. Turn these little suckers on. And there we are. It's pretty. It's up the back. Alright guys. Turn my lights back on. To seal these, I use this. Nope, not that. I grabbed the wrong one. That's my mold release, guys. Here's what I use. Acrylic sealer. This is the gloss finish. Dries really fast, doesn't yellow, so it says, but it seals and protects. I use this when I paint my molds up, and I do 3 or 4 coats of it, just according to how much I think it needs. But I do this outside, so I'm not going to show you guys that. Just spray a light coat, and I spray the whole thing because I want the whole thing to look the same. But I'll see you guys back for the next video. Bye for now.